So you're done with this person, friend, boyfriend, whatever. So you unfollow them. You go to your Facebook and you unfriend them. You go to your phone and you delete the whole thread. And don't forget to go to the contact list and delete the contact. In 2023, this is one of the most popular ways to discard a person that you're done with for whatever reason, to get rid of a person that you've had a relationship with. You're done, finito, right? But are you truly? Because in today's video, I'm going to talk about having soul ties and how unfollowing, unfriending, deleting, blocking is not going to be the final call in ending this soul tie and breaking this soul tie. Today's video, I'm going to talk about how to break, how to detect soul ties in today's generation, because it's slightly different from past times. So before I start, make sure you follow me. Make sure you subscribe to your guy, Sealz the man. Like, comment, tell me what you think about this. And as always, I'm appreciative of you coming back to my videos and hearing me out. Thank you. So as you know, I created this channel for my two younger nieces so that when they become of age, they will understand men a little bit more, maybe a lot more. And today I'm gonna give you a perspective of what men think when it comes to soul ties, when it comes to breaking soul ties, and what you should look out for, and what you should also consider when it comes to soul ties. So what is a soul tie for those who don't know? When you have a soul tie with someone, you are having a spiritual connection, a spiritual bond, a spiritual bridge between you and this other person. So if you hear about spiritual bonds or soul ties in this matter from a lot of people in a lot of videos, you'll see most of it is about sex, or it's about relationships or romantic relationships. But soul ties are so much deeper than that. Soul ties also occur with friends. They occur with family. They occur with anyone who is as important to share their soul tie with, whatever that title is to that person. But the most popular soul tie is usually romantic, marriages, understandable. But there's also a huge danger to having a soul tie, because when you have a soul tie with someone, you take on certain things from this person. You take on traits. You even take on smells. You ever heard that thing where people say, yo, you're starting to look like your husband, or you're starting to look like your girlfriend, because y'all been together so long, y'all starting to take on each other. You start to say things that they say, and now the other person is saying, oh, check you out using my words. Soul ties are real, but this is the danger with soul ties. Because you take on the things of this other person, you also take on their spirits. You also take on their depression. You also take on their energy, their thinking. If they are thinking unhealthy and you are around this person always or a lot, you are married to this person, you're in a relationship with this person, you are in a friendship, best friendship with this person, and guess what? Most likely you are going to take on that unhealthy thinking as well. It kind of reminds me of the saying, birds of a feather flock together. There's a reason why they are tied together. So those are a couple signs that you are in a soul tie. Another sign is that you are overly obsessed with this person. And for the faithful out there, those who are strong in belief in God, you start to lose vision of your God. And now the love of this person is starting to replace the love of your faith, the love of your God, the love of the thing that you follow. Now we're walking in troubled waters. When you start to lose your faith, when you start to lose sight of the thing that brought you here, the thing that brought you out of your turbulent times and your tribulations, when you start to forget that thing and replace it with your soul tie, you are putting yourself in mighty danger. Another sign that you're with the soul tie with someone is when you're in an abusive relationship with someone, and now you are defending that person to other people who are trying to help you. One of the worst things that I've been through is trying to help someone, trying to help a friend get out of a toxic relationship, get out of an abusive relationship, get out of a whack friendship, and they turn around and get mad at me or want to start arguing with me because they are defending this person. They are so tied to this person that they are forgetting everything else around this person, outside of this person, including their friends, including their faith, like I mentioned before, including their family, those who really care for them, to protect this person who is beating them, who is mentally abusing them. They are making excuses for their soul tie. Now, going back to my nieces, because I know they're going to come of age where they're going to be influenced by sex. I feel like sex is becoming more prevalent as the years go by. It's on TV now, it's on movies, it's not even rated no more. It's just in your face now. So I know it's going to be in their faces, and it's already in their faces now, but I feel like it's going to get worse, right? So you have to be careful with who you lay with who you let a man insert into you with. because there's a unique power and significance of the woman's womb. The womb grants permission for entry, and the man gives. The woman receives, the man provides. The significance behind that is what a woman receives stays inside of her. There's no exit. There's no exit door. When a man gives, he can go about his business. He can lay his seed and go on to the next. So to my two nieces and all the women out there, I just want you to remember this. Be careful with whom you let inside of you, because everything that he represents, all the nasty things he represents, and not just physically, mentally, spiritually, is going to be inside of you. It's going to lay there. It's going to lay dormant. It has nowhere else to go. So your womb does not deserve for it to be a trash can, for anyone and anything to just deposit garbage in you. Make sure you are with the right man. And it is okay to say no. That's another thing. Learn how to say no. Because when you learn how to say no, you get to avoid these type of soul ties to begin with, before they begin. You know, I want to get to that on a personal note too. Because I'm never the person, you know me, Sealz is never the person to just tell you things. I'm gonna tell you things from my perspective based on the things I've experienced, right? I'm vulnerable with that. That's cool. That's the point of the channel. So I remember when I had a soul tie with my ex, my very first girlfriend, and she was the absolute love of my life, the first love of my life, and I felt like we were going to be together forever. You know, young love, blase, blase. And I went to college freshman year. Long story short, she cheated on me. I found out because we were on the same phone bill, and I realized she was calling numbers at odd, weird times, and I asked her about it, so I found out that way. So as a man, as a young man, an immature man, I had a lot of ego, and it drove my emotions. So what I did was I screamed and yelled at her, cursed, all that, deleted everything I had with her, said I was done, told everybody I was done, said I'll never think of her again, she's dead to me, all this stuff. But it was a complete lie, because I had a soul tie with her. I would stay up endless nights. Mind you, we were together for years. I think at that time we were together for like 4 years. After all this happened, right? I would stay up endless nights just thinking about her. Thinking about what happened. Thinking about if I did something to make her cheat on me. Thinking about going after this dude. All this stuff. And it was at night after night after night. And I remember I came to my grandma, and this was the first time I ever cried in front of my grandma, besides being a baby. And I came to her and I told her what happened, and I just started bawling. Like, all that toughness just broke down. I was tough in the beginning, you know. Man, grandma, she cheated on me and all that, man. Man, she whacked, you know what I mean? All that. But as the conversation continued, man, I broke down. It came out of nowhere. I couldn't even hold it back. And my grandma just looked at me, and I could tell she was upset, and she was reading a newspaper at the time. She looked at me, and she just continued to read the newspaper, and she just let me let it out. She just let me let it out. When you have a soul tie with someone, no matter what your mouth says, no matter what your fingers do, unfollowing them and unfriending them, it is never over until you break that tie. Now, how do you break that tie? The first thing I suggest is to realize that you have a soul tie with this person. To be honest, because a lot of people out there, women and men, they want to act like, oh man, forget him, I'm done with him, and like, you know, all the tough talk, all the dishonest talk. He was nothing anyway, all that. But are you being honest with yourself? So the first thing, like addiction, is to realize and to admit that you have a soul tie with this person. The next thing is, in my suggestion, is to talk to someone you trust, a mentor, a pastor, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandfather, someone who is mature and trustworthy and truly there for you. The other thing is to get rid of any connection with this person. So if that is unfriending and unfollowing and all that, deleting, do what's best for you. But the last thing and the most important thing is to replace that person with something that is greater than, with the love, a passion, a faith. But specifically, remember to replace that something, that person, that soul tie, with the love of self. Because when you remember how much you love yourself, you will never forget this pain, and you will never want to endure this pain. Therefore, you're going to move in a certain way to never go through this ever again. Maybe you stretch out relationships longer so you can vet them a little longer, so you can figure out your guy and not rush into something. Maybe you find a relationship that is based on your faith, that y'all are both like-minded, so there's a less of a chance that he goes against the things you believe in, or vice versa. Or maybe you build a friendship with this person before you get into a relationship with them. There's so many things that becomes clear when you include self-love. But things get a lot more clear after you go through the heartbreak of a soul tie break. So I just want to create this video for today's generation specifically Just because you unfollow someone, just because you unfriend someone, just because you delete their contact and their text thread, does not mean you are done with that person. That best friend, that boyfriend, that husband. You need to get rid of him in here and replace that something with something better. And it's a process. It takes time. Don't rush it. But breaking an unhealthy, toxic, disrespectful, disgusting soul tie will be the best thing you ever, well, one of the best things you ever do for yourself. All right, so Sealz the man is here to remind you, and I hope you take this in. And I will see y'all in my next video. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.